Hello, loved ones. This is Matt Stevens, and I am having a fantastic day, and I am pretty certain you are as well. I've got my windows open here in the office, well, in the whole place, really, but in the office particularly, and it's extremely windy out there, so if you hear that, don't think anything of it. So, anyway, loved ones, been talking a lot lately about polarity and all of that. And then I did a video that I have not released about transmutation and how a lot of these spiritual gurus talk about transmutation, but they really just kind of gloss over it and don't really talk about how we can apply it in our daily life, just real life. I mean, it's great philosophy. I mean, duh. I mean, transmuting your things that you don't want into the things you do want. That sounds great. But it's like, how do I apply that on the fly in my daily life? There we go. So anyway, I did do a video on that. I'm going to put that out at some point. Maybe I don't know. You never know, right? So anyway, hey loved ones, if you would, please do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it if you would do that. Also, subscribe to the channel. And because if you don't, you may miss out on me doing all these little sidetracks in every direction, right? We don't want to miss that. So there's that. But there's two theories of the universe and how it exists or came to exist. One is the relativistic theory. That would be like Einstein's theory of relativity, which that assumes that everything that exists exists. It is somewhere in space and time, meaning any particle that exists does exist. We may not know where it is, but it's there. So that would imply that there is a very finiteness to the universe, to anything, to existence, right? But the double slit experiment kind of, brought that into question. Let's just put it nicely. Then the other theory is the quantum theory. And while I am no quantum mechanics guy, I am not a quantum physicist or any of that, I am very interested in those things. And the quantum theory makes a lot more sense. And just being straight up, it's a lot more fun if we were to live by that example. Because the relativistic way of looking at things, well, everything is what it is, and that's just as it is. Everything was set in place went from the Big Bang, and if you could know every little nuance of every little thing, then you could determine anything, because everything is on a set trajectory. If you could figure out what all the trajectories were, you could then determine where everything is. Meaning, there's really no. Everything is what it is and what it's gonna be, and well, that's just not very. It's not a very fun way to live. So, in the quantum theory, which, by the way, it's like, yeah, but which one is it actually true, Matt? Well, if the relativistic theory made more sense, then maybe we would go with that. I mean, when we're thinking about it in our three-dimensional brains and we're thinking very realistically, or what we in this three-dimensional brain thinking kind of way would consider realistic, okay, fine. But like I said, the double slit experiment kind of poo-pooed that whole idea. But it made the quantum theory much more, not just it brought it more to light and made it more of a possibility. Yeah. So the quantum theory theorizes that everything that, like, instead of there being a Big Bang and this being the origination of the universe and everything just kind of went out from there, it says that the entire universe is the same age, that the entire universe is all just probability or possibility, however you want to look at it. But in the quantum theory, things come in and out of existence all the time. For example, with the double slit experiment, that said, when the particles that were being launched towards the wall with the two slits in it, when it was not being observed, the Particles it wasn't a particle at all. It didn't go through this slit or that slit. It was a wave pattern. It was a wave function or whatever. And it went through both, which at first the physicists who were conducting this experiment were like, how could one particle go through two places? But that's because they were in their relativity mindset. They were thinking we are sending a particle one at a time at this wall, and it must go through one slit or the other, or neither. But anyway, definitely not both at once. So they did that, and they're thinking it's going to go through one or the other. But what they found was that because they were not observing this action that they were putting in motion, that it was a wave function, and therefore it went through it just like a ripple in water. It went through, if you have a drop a pebble in water being the particle, and then it causes a wave, and that wave then hits. I know my hands are all up in the camera like, ah. Anyway, so then that wave, ah. all right, I'm done. Hey, by the way, loved one, since we're on the subject, because we're not, please hit the like button. I would so appreciate it. You may miss me doing dumb stuff like that. And if you don't, geez, please hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. And if you would please subscribe, because if you don't, then you'll miss me doing dumb stuff such as that. Right. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. I truly do. So anyway, loved one. Okay, so then it's as if you dropped a pebble in the water, and then it caused a wave, and then the wave went out, and as it hit that wall, a little bit of the wave here went through the slit, then causing smaller ripples, which then interacted before they hit the back wall, causing a wave pattern on that back wall. Very interesting. It's like, how could that have happened if we have one particle? It should have went through here or here, not both. Very true. So they set up a camera device or whatever, some measuring device, and they were like, well, let's see how that happened. So they did. Well, when they did that, that wind is really getting it out there. I don't know if you can hear it, but anyway. So when they did that, the particle then began behaving as expected. It went through this slit or that slit. Not both. It wasn't a wave at all. It was one thing. That was what they expected to happen when you have a relativistic way of looking at things. Anyway, didn't really mean to turn this into a double slit experiment talk, but here we are. So with the quantum theory way of looking at the universe, things are a lot more fun, because at that way we can, it's like, well, then it has to be observed to be a physical thing. Otherwise, it's just a possibility. It's a probability. It may be this or it may be that. It depends upon what I focus my attention on. Hence, where attention goes, energy flows, and therefore it becomes manifested. That's great. And of course, that's a much more fun way of looking at things. Now, if you're one of those people who likes everything buttoned up and in a nice little box and packaged and very determined, and it's like, this is what it is, and this is what it's going to be, and you can't change it. If you're one of those people that likes that, well, you may not be as big of a fan, because things can change at any time. Because where attention is directed, that's when things become manifest. And that also goes along with simulation theory, another fascination of mine. In that we know that from people, video game developers, they have what they call rendering. Okay. And rendering, what it is when you are, let's say you're doing a VR virtual reality game. And then when you're looking forward, what you see is what's in front of you. The things off to the side, while if you were to turn your head and look, then it would be rendered, meaning at that point it would come into focus. It would become manifested. But if you're not focused on it, it's just, say, a graph or just nothing. It's just nothing. So that would be like, so what you're telling me is whatever's behind me really isn't there unless I turn around and look. Yeah, well, the coding for it is there, but it's not actually rendered into what we call reality until you turn around and observe it. Yes, that's exactly what that means. Now, with the quantum way of looking at things, yeah, it's a little more fly by the seat of your pants. It's a little more spiritual and a lot less tightly buttoned up and in the box. Yes. So it's a more free spirited, I guess, instead of spiritual. It's a lot more free spirited. It's a better way for people who are free spirited and will accept change and welcome change and would like to influence change on their reality. So, but there has become more and more evidence supporting the quantum theory. Now, those of us who want to create create reality, that's good news for us. But the relativistic type of people, such as Albert Einstein, maybe not so much. He did not like quantum theory. For example, quantum entanglement, which says that if two particles are quantumly entangled, meaning if you were to split these two particles up and put them on opposite ends of the universe, or whatever, say a billion light years apart, that would indicate that for them to have communication between the two, it would take at least a billion light years for such communication to go. But what's been proven, quantum entanglement has been proven, they do have instant communication. What you do to one, the other one is instantly affected by, and it is not the speed of light or any of that has nothing to do with it. That means that somehow these two particles are connected, even though they appear to be, from our perspective, separated by billions of light years. That has been proven. Albert Einstein called it spooky action at a distance, and he did not like it, by the way. And I'm not poo-pooing Albert Einstein. He's brilliant, yes. However, like I said, the quantum theory is a lot more fun for us because then we can play with reality, make it what we want. So yeah, there you go, loved ones. Relativistic theory of the universe or quantum theory. Quantum theory says everything is just here, but it's not really there until it's observed. It's all possibility. It's all probability. Yeah. Anyway, loved ones, again, if you have not hit the thumbs up button yet, please do that. Please give my video a like and share this with someone you think might be interested. Would help to grow the channel. And also, let me know in the comments, please. Yes, I'm soliciting comments. That's okay. Let me know what you think, what your thoughts are between the relativistic view of the theory of relativity versus the theory of the quantum theory, right? So let me know what you think of that. I would appreciate it. And if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. I would so appreciate that. And lastly, you can find me on X at Matt Stevens, MSA. That's where I post all my videos, shorts, audio podcast, and blog posts. And I really like X because we can interact, we can chat, we can do all of that stuff in real time on the fly. It's very good for that. So there you go, loved ones. That's what I got. I love you. I do. And I'll be back directly.